Hello, my name is Breanne Grey. I'm a criminal defense attorney at the Nieves Law Firm, and now I want to talk to you about penalties for sex offenses in Oakland. There are a lot of different types of sex offenses in Oakland, and there are a lot of different types of penalties. I'm going to start with misdemeanors. Misdemeanor sex offenses include annoying a child, lewd acts in public, indecent exposure, misdemeanor sexual battery, solicitation, and prostitution. For these misdemeanor offenses, you can serve up to 1 year in county jail and pay fines and fees to the court and restitution to whatever victim. Felony sex offenses carry state prison time. Depending on what you've been convicted of, you will have a different type of sentence. Say, for instance, you've been convicted of unlawful sexual intercourse or of sodomy of a victim under 18, but the defendant is close in age. You could face between 16 months to 3 years in state prison. Say you've been convicted of rape or sodomy, oral copulation, or sexual penetration by force, by fear, or of an intoxicated person, or of a mentally incapable victim, you can face between 3 to 8 years in state prison. Say you've been convicted of any of these crimes, but in concert. In concert means with others. If you are convicted for rape, sodomy, oral copulation, or sexual penetration in concert, you can face between 5 to 9 years in state prison. Crimes against children have especially harsh sentences. If you've been convicted of oral copulation or sexual penetration of a child under 10, or of aggravated sexual assault of a child, you can face between 15 years to life. Likewise, if you've been convicted of intercourse or sodomy of a child under 10, you can face 25 years to life. So what you see here is that it really depends on how old the victim is, how old you are, how the crime actually occurred, by force, by fear. All these different things will affect the length of time that you will be sentenced to. Outside the prison penalties, you also have the sex offender registration. There once was a time when all types of sex offenses carried a lifetime registration. Now, there are 3 different tiers for sex offender registration. There's a 10-year period, a 20-year period, and a lifetime registration. Different types of crimes fall under these different types of tiers. Say you have a misdemeanor sexual battery. Misdemeanor sexual battery is unwanted touching over clothes. That carries a 10-year registration period. Say you have sodomy or oral copulation of a minor in some cases, such as when the defendant or the alleged victim are close in age and no force was used, that is also a 10-year registration offense. Misdemeanor possession of child pornography is another 10-year registration offense. And you have indecent exposure, such as urinating in public or streaking in a park. That is a 10-year offense. So most of the misdemeanors are 10-year registration offenses. And then we have the 20-year tier. Rape, sodomy, or oral copulation or penetration with a foreign object of an adult who may be developmentally disabled or incapable of giving consent carries a 20-year registration. Likewise, sodomy, oral copulation, or penetration with a foreign object of a minor under 14 without force, and when the defendant is within 10 years of the victim's age, that carries a 20-year registration as well. Lifetime registration is required for these crimes: felony sexual battery, which would be unwanted touching of the genitals underneath clothing, acts of rape, sodomy, oral copulation, penetration with a foreign object by force, duress, or intoxication. Those carry lifetime registration. Acts against minors by force, when there are large age gaps between the defendant and the victim, that carries a lifetime registration. And felony convictions for child pornography carries a lifetime registration. Again, it really depends on how these crimes occurred and what you are actually convicted for. These nuances do matter. Registration essentially means staying in touch with local law enforcement, checking in on your birthday or within a few days before or after your birthday every year, updating your contact information, your home, work, your school address, essentially allowing law enforcement to keep tabs on you, is what registration actually entails. Lifetime registration can be a bit of a burden for some people. Failing to maintain your registration actually is its own criminal offense. And for 10 and 20-year registrants, removal from the list is not automatic. You still have to petition the court to be taken off the list. And that's where we can help. We here at the Nieves Law Firm can help you achieve these things.